Sober, he is restored to the attacking side of things, with Andrew Naboot out with an injury concern after rolling an ankle in training. So Elvis Kamsoba, he's got to get one back on his brother. Pacific Nyongabiri did this the other night in just his second A-League appearance, scored a fabulous goal and gave us the celebration that Elvis gave us in round one in the derby. But of course Kamsoba's goal was chalked off, and he's still on the big duck egg. No goals in his first 38 A-League appearances. Is tonight the night? Fired up by a bit of brotherly rivalry. There's young Luis Laurie Latanzio, who leads the line tonight in the absence of Andrew Naboot. He's been pretty sharp in his 2 appearances so far in the big time, the 18-year-old. And he's ready to kick things off. Melbourne Victory start with the ball. And we've loved the action since the A-League has returned, Andy Harper, and it should be another belter between these two.
You'd reckon, Speedy. It's been really fun. Last night's game was just amazing between Newcastle and Western United. A great midweek football viewing. And well, we're right to expect that, with nothing on the line for either of these teams, apart from the love of playing the game. Of course, individuals might have a few points they want to prove, but the pressure of expectation is gone. The conditions are perfect, and I'm looking forward to an open and high-quality, high-intensity game.
Here's Stensness threading the needle to Orr, who was caught late, and that's the first whistle blown by the debutant referee tonight. First game in charge for Tim Danaskos, the 28-year-old. Good luck to him tonight. Cousins Troy and Liana have both played in the A-League and W-League respectively, so football runs in the family.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for Tim. I wish him all the best. He's got some experience in the 4th official seat to help guide him through if necessary. Alex Smithy King. You've started there something there, Speedy. You know, I saw Alex in the car park before the game, and I'm not in the good books of his mum and dad, put it that way.
You started it. I didn't start it at all.
Well, actually, Streptolosky started it. Yeah.
And the referee calling upon the medical staff from both teams here after this clash. Adama Traore was under a bit of an injury cloud coming in. This looks like a head clash between he and Milan Djuric. Neither looks very good at the moment. Copped the backhander in the eye, perhaps, Adama Traore. So Milan Djuric looked really shaken up when we zoomed in tight. Just wondering whether his head hits the ground or something to cause him the drama. They appear to be doing the concussion test. Their leading scorer so far this season scored the opener the other night against the Wanderers. They blew 2 points late when Simon Cox came off the bench to equalise. Alan Stajic, the Grant Brebner in the respective technical areas. Brebner still looking for his first game as caretaker coach. And despite his little taste of it that he's enjoying very much, he's happy to learn from whoever becomes the full-time gaffer, as he refers to them. Watch this space for Melbourne Victory fans over the next few months to see who becomes their new senior head coach. There's Matt Acton bending one out to Storm Roo. Back to Donachie. Laurie Latanzio went underneath Kai Rolls. Went through to Fox, and Djuric has recovered okay. Very sharp turn in the centre circle. Rolls was outstanding the other night, the left footer alongside this man, Dylan Fox. A milestone for him tonight, 50th A-League game. Birigidi in goal, of course. Closing in on 100 saves for the campaign. most of any shot stopper this season, Mark Birighitti. But it hasn't been as busy as it once was the last few weeks. They've really worked on their defensive structure in the lead up to the restart, the Mariners, and they've looked at different proposition.
Yeah, very competitive. Been able to crack it for a win. I guess a win tonight for them would provide some sort of symmetry, given that it was against the Victory in those dramatic circumstances to which you've already referred, where they last tasted a victory. But they haven't been easy to beat, despite that run of losses.
A few players slipping out there. They've conceded 53 goals throughout the campaign, but just 2 in their last 3 encounters. That was slice out of play. Yeah,
the delivery out of defence hasn't been great so far. Kai Rolls has rolled one over the sideline. Jack Clisby sliced that one. With a victory throw.
Good movement from Burkhan Kurda. Received from Traore. They were the 2 players in doubt heading into this one. And Kurda caught late again here. Referee says that's okay. Simon back to Fox. And on to Birighitti again. It's beautiful playing surface. A few players are struggling with their footing though tonight. Tara Rushton, how do you see these conditions?
It's beautiful down here, Speedy. I know you made reference to it. The full moon up ahead as well, which makes me think we could see a bit of a golf fest. I'm hoping so. Anyway, the pitch looks sublime down here. It does look in gorgeous condition. It's crisp, cool conditions, no breeze, about 16 degrees down here. So just another stunning night for football.
Silvera let it run and was caught by the captain, Broxham. Poised on 99 career losses. Doesn't want to bring up triple figures here tonight. Clisby and Orr combining down that left-hand side. Stensness back out to the Socceroo. Trying to make room for the cross. He's done so, Tommy Orr. Away by Traore, chested down and trying to milk a penalty was Clisby. Nothing in that. Victory in a 4-1-4-1 formation defensively here. And the mistake has been made, a little casual by Rolls. Able to atone though and prevent Campsober getting away.
To clock on quickly to Kai Rolls. He's been a little asleep at the wheel the last couple of possessions he's had. And he was certainly sharp enough to run down Elvis.
Rojas, a brief touch, upset with himself, being unable to control that pass, whipped into it. Kept alive here by Clisby only briefly. With no Andrew Naboot, how do you expect the Victory to threaten Birighitti tonight?
Well, Laurie Latanzio, why not? Very exciting prospect. Another one out of the South Australian pipeline. Virtually staffing the league at the moment. Teenagers coming through out of South Oz. And that's another. In the centre midfield, he's just given that one away, however.
Silvera pushes him aside and then gives it away to Traore. There's a counter-attack on here. If he can release Rojas, and he can. Brilliant ball from Traore. Rojas, heavy touch though. Gifted it to Fox, so he's not quite at the races just yet, the Kiwi. Now Silvera looking to go the other way. Tough ball to control. Juric, not quite the release pass that he was after.
Yeah, just lacking the quality from both teams in those moments of delivery. It's really even before we've got into the final third, although Tommy Orr's cross last time he ventured down the left was a good one.
Laurie Latanzio linking up with Burkhan Kurda, who went back to the teenager. Into the area he goes. Laurie Latanzio denied by a sprawling Birighitti. Rojas invents a ball back across the face. Campsober Chance to face up, and here's Kerdar who ignited the move. Players queuing up inside the area here for the victory. The Mariners under pressure. Hasn't this game just sparked into action after a bit of a lull in the opening 6 or 7 minutes? Now it's action in both penalty areas, and Birighitti claims.
Terrific burst of speed from Laurie Latanzio. It's a great touch too to set things away, and then the give and go beautifully found. Nearly didn't make it, but in the end from Kerdar it was good enough, and the speed was exciting from Laurie Latanzio.
Sober getting a shout from Rue, goes back to Barnett instead. All the way back to Galafuoco. Barnett with that trademark glance over the shoulder as the ball was on its way. Kerdar able to track down a loose first touch. Straight to Jurich from Acton, and the Mariners have the ball back after chasing shadows for a few minutes there. As the victory keen to avoid an unwanted club record. They're on a 4-game losing streak right now. Never lost 5 in a row in the proud history of the club. Grant Brebinen doesn't want to see that headline. Spoke in the lead up to this game about how the club needs to get its recruitment right to find Melbourne Victory players for the next campaign. Players who are keen to take the game on and provide the attacking football their fans expect.
Well, the key part of that discussion is who's going to be leading the ship. That's the person who dictates how the team plays.
Well, that was the debate when Marco Kurtz took over. Who was doing the recruiting?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was a whole messy situation, as history's now revealed. Fortunate, because Kurtz did such a good job at Adelaide.
Or opens up the pitch for Clisby to deliver. Big chance in the middle. Galafuoco able to keep it away from Silvera, who was sliding in. Really sharp defending.
And a really good ball in from Jack Clisby. Delivery down the left from the Mariners has been good. Gets his foot around this just perfectly. Offside probably would have been anyway by Silvera. Galafuoco needed to make the effort on the ball. He did a great job, the central defender.
Finish off your other point on Marco Kurtz that we were making before that attack.
No, he did well. He did well, but it just didn't work out at all for whatever reason. I'm certainly not privy to the reasons why. Maybe we'll never know, but it was a failed venture. Rocks them in late. Mariners had a bit of zip about them.
What is the attitude of players in this situation, as you say? Final game of the season for one club here in the Mariners. The wooden spoon already secured. They can't do anything about their ladder position. It's different strokes for different folks.
Well, firstly, as always, although sometimes, Speedy, this can get clouded in the whole corporate professional world, but you play because you love it, and no one nipping at your heels about winning and losing necessarily because the finals are gone. It's a great opportunity to go and play again for love of the game. The youngsters who are getting a start shouldn't need and won't need to be told just the specialness of this opportunity, especially at a club like Melbourne Victory, who we wouldn't expect to see in this lowly position anytime soon again. And the blooding of youngsters in that scenario becomes more difficult. So it's a great chance for these kids.
Jurich all the way across to link up with Orr. And keep it narrow, almost all the way through for Simon.
And I will say for the Mariners, Matt Simon made a comment this week or last week referring obliquely to the difficulties of the last few years at the club. Go into any detail, but we're just left to sort of wonder, and it's been a horrible run on the competition ladder for the Mariners, and given that they've been so competitive, I think speaks volumes to the mentality of the players. It could have gone horribly to seed, even over and above the 4 wooden spoons in 5 seasons.
Can that also be a testament to the coach?
No question about that. Stajic's a polished performer, there's no doubt. At a club with perhaps a little bit more investment behind him, which I'm sure he'd welcome. And we'd like to see the Mariners back in that scenario, keeping in mind, of course, for the first few years of the A-League, cumulatively, they picked up more points than anyone in the competition. It's been a remarkable fall since then. Maybe that's what Simon was referring to.
Traore's ball in, cushioned by Kamsoba, and the strike from Kurtar had Andy Harper out of his seat.
Well, he adjusted really well. Of course, missed in the end by quite some way, but he gave it a bit. Controlled the height of it, if not, obviously, the direction.
Jurich. And Galafuoco across again. He's made a rock-solid start at the back. Of course, he knows the patterns of the Mariners. He played 10 games before them in this campaign before joining the Victory, who sent out the SOS for reinforcements for their Champions League squad as Birighitti claims another cross.
How good was that little shimmy from Rojas? He sold Jack Clisby completely up the river. Pity about the cross in the end. It looked promising for a while, but Birighitti was always the favourite.
Nisbet switching it up via Fox to Ziggy Gordon, the Scot. Jurich can't lift it over the top of Kamsoba. To the diminutive Nisbet. Silvera played it off Barnett in the end. Now ricochet, I think. And Clisby making room for another telling cross back post. Simon's header flicked up in the air by Acton, and it found a teammate. Wonder whether Matt Simon would have been better off leaving for his teammate who was coming the other way, Ziggy Gordon.
He certainly had an advantage, you would have thought. Ziggy Gordon, maybe it was an issue of communication, maybe it was a chance of never having a chance of getting Matt Simon out of the way, as it were.
Stensness fires one out to Silvera. The youngster taking on Donachie. Has he earned a penalty? A little nudge in the back. He was on the way down, though, and doesn't appeal to the referee. But hands in the back, you're taking a bit of a risk.
Well, referee Danuskas got himself into a great position. It's always going to be categorised as minimal contact.
Plays advantage here, the referee, for Stensness to run onto it, and he is caught, is he? No. More ball by the Victory. And the referee, a few decisions to test him early on, and he's coming up trumps. He won the referee of the year in the New South Wales NPL in 2019. Now up in the top grade in the country. Clisby able to keep on going. Silvera around the corner. Matt Simon on the half turn, held back by Galafuoko. And what a spot for a set piece for the Mariners.
Oh, excellent use of the body from Matty Simon. Well found by Silvera. It stretched the victory formation defensively nicely. And Matt Simon used his body nicely and didn't repeat the mistake of other attackers by trying to hold his feet. Once there was a meaningful interruption from the defender, Matty was going down. And this is a nicely placed free kick. Milan Juric, you'd imagine, is the favourite, although Jack Clisby does take his fair share of set pieces.
Matt Simon looks ready to put his laces through it.
I think he might just blow them all away.
He's the one who put the ball down, so read into that what you will. Sometimes that's the decoy. Matt Acton's put as many as he can in that wall. Here comes Matt Simon! Oh, boy, did he hit that. And Matt Acton did so well to punch it away like he was shelling peas.
Well, did it go through the wall? That's great telly. Highlighting the technique of Matty Simon, and he stood his ground, Matt Acton.
Well, that was travelling. Couldn't have hit it much sweeter, but he hit it straight at Acton. He was up for the challenge. 56 A-League goals for Matty Simon. He is the Mariners' greatest ever goal scorer. He would have loved a highlight like that. That one flying into the roof of the net. Scored 2 spot kicks last time these teams met. Silvera dancing his way through. Hit the deck, asked for a foul with Broxham sliding in. It's going the other way, and Birighitti left it behind. Rojas, tap in coming up surely. The Melbourne Victory take the lead. It's a goalkeeping error. Mark Birighitti hanging his head right now, but Marco Rojas accepts the invitation to give the Victory a 1-0 advantage.
Well, it might be a question about whether there was a foul on Silvera. It certainly looked like it probably was. What about the ball from young Burkhan? It's a beauty. Birighitti got it all wrong. Such a fine keeper who's been excellent recently, but he completely mucked that one up. And the will-o'-the-wisp, the impish Marco Rojas skips clear and rolls the ball home for a victory lead.
3rd goal of the season, 32nd overall in this competition. Marco Rojas says thank you very much. That's all time in 3 stints with the Victory, 30 goals and 25 assists. And Birighitti with his mind perhaps already on the postseason.
It was a beautiful ball with a swagger of Burkhan Kurda to ting that one 50 metres. Nice and flat, so it had the speed to outfox the defenders. Right on the point for Rojas to do the business. Well done by the youngster.
You can just tell when Grant Brebner talks about Burkhan Kurda, he thinks he's got a big career ahead of him. Former midfielder himself, of course, with the Victory, a club legend, Grant Brebner. But he's had Burkhan Kurda with the youth team, the academy set up. Loves what he brings, and I think Silvera's almost earned his team a corner there. Referee says goal kick. Here's a look at that move, and Broxham hung out a leg and appeared to foul him.
Yeah, I mean, ref started well, but that's a little hiccup. That ball from Burkhan Kurda is a beauty. The less said about Mark Birighitti's judgment on that occasion, the better.
Of 2-1 defeats for the Victory against the Brisbane Roar and against Western United. And they've they've got a lead to enjoy. And here's Traore. Birighitti in no man's land again. Trapped it with his chest. Outside of his area, couldn't afford to handle it. And the Mariners playing a particularly high line that's causing Birighitti to have a few heart palpitations.
Oh, no, not particularly. Nothing untoward. I mean, the Mariners have got him behind the victory as well. This is just grist for the mill. There's always space on a football field. It just depends on where it is.
That one. Didn't want to look at the ball when it was heading at 90 degrees to its intended target.
Here's Elvis against Birighitti. Was it the arm? Of course, Speedy, even unless you're going to correct me, even in a VAR world, that's not going to get pulled up, is it? Handball outside the box.
Yeah, well, is it a red card offence? A shot on target, handled by a keeper outside his area? Maybe it is. Maybe it is VAR-able, as it's headed clear by the victory.
New verb, VAR-able.
Silvera. This wouldn't come down, but it took a deflection and they get a corner out of it.
He's been lively and prominent, Sammy Silvera, as well, which is good to see. You'd really love to see him burst through the little snippets we've seen. Excellent work from Nisbet too, whilst we're dishing out the praise. He's an impressive character, Josh Nisbet. This is the time for Silvera. You're never going to get a better opportunity to just go out and razzle. Make a name for yourself. Get people looking at you and talking about you.
Gillespie's in-swinger. Rolls was there. It hung in the air for an eternity, and he couldn't direct the header on target. Skimmed off Rue, who was brave backing back like that, knowing there was traffic coming the other way, and then skimmed off those locks of Kai Rolls. A couple of shots on target apiece, but the victory in control courtesy of Rojas's opener. Taking his time. Hooked on by Silvera, and they can have another go. Four wins, 3 draws, 18 losses so far in this campaign for the Mariners. Not quite kept in by Gillespie. Let's see if the victory can make a better fist at the throw-in situation. Lawrence Thomas anymore for the victory after all of his glorious games at the back. Grand final hero, of course. He's officially joined a Danish club on a 2-year deal. Tommy Orr, it ran past Barnett. He's played in Silvera. Offside flag will go up. Galafuoko was the deepest lying of the victory defenders, and he had his man where he wanted him.
What a pity. Barnett had slipped in midfield or got his footwork wrong, and Tommy Orr was away with 2 great options. Matt Simon out on the right, and Silvera, who'd angled his run to the left, ran offside. Such a shame, because it was opening up as great space for the Mariners.
Silvera again the target. Donachie defended it well. It's missing the mark from Storm Rue. Now Stensness to Orr and Clisby. Matt Simon on the move. Jurich is deeper than that. Simon, a big chance here. Great save. Acton denies his namesake again. The two Macks head to head. And Simon thinks he's done enough when he directs the volley on target.
Well, it was a deflected cross from Clisby, but he looks to go early, which is a help. Nice run from Simon, but there's no matte finish at the end of it. There's just a brilliant save from Acton. It's truly classy stuff. That is incredible, really. Wonderful, Matt Acton.
Well, he's had enough of being a number 2. He wants to show he's very much a number 1, and that save will live long on his highlight reel.
Well, Matty Simon, Speedy, once he's made that contact, is surely thinking he's done enough.
Now they're head-to-head in the 6-yard box. Clisby slips. Broxham clears. Jurich, capable. Couldn't quite direct it on target, but not many would take on that strike, but he does.
No, he made good contact. Very, very difficult with the ball dropping like that. Oh, slipping all over the place, and that's another thing that might have gone through his mind, but he planted that left foot. A good foundation. Not too wide in the end.
Going back to that Simon finish as the former striker, more than 300 National League games. If he has his time again when he's reflecting on it, what kind of finish should he have gone with?
I don't think he would have asked any more of himself.
Yeah, right.
You know, with the
don't try and keep it low, or
you're just stretching to get to it, Speedy, at full speed. It's taken a deflection already. Goalkeepers aren't going to save that the majority of the time. It's take credit to the goalkeeper. It was remarkable reflexes.
We'll see that again in the halftime show with Andy Harper and Tara Rushton. Here's Laurie Latanzio. Oh, twisting this way and that around Kai Rolls, who had to let him go, but in the end gets the blocking. He's got some flicks and tricks as Laurie Latanzio. There's a counter-attack on here. Nisbet pulled it back against his body and couldn't quite get the angle right.
Just rushed it, didn't he, Nisbet? If he carries that, that's the opportunity for him to carry the ball deep, to really get the defenders across the back line for victory, really get them guessing, wondering what he's going to do. You carry the ball deep, you make them commit. He just rushed that one, unfortunately, but it was more great space available to the Mariners there.
Kamsoba, he runs with it around Stensness. Oh, no look pass nearly for Rojas. Great idea from Elvis. And he put his hands on his head in frustration afterwards, and it didn't come off. Now, was there any contact there? Storm Rue on Tommy Orr. Just a foul and no caution. Clisby helping out. At the back was Kamsoba, and he can latch onto that as well. Stensness unable to slide it out to Ziggy Gordon. Kurda, space here. Look at the run made by Rojas. Control it with his hand, though, and the assistant will tip off the referee that play stops.
Well, Kurda hit a belting pass for the Rojas goal. With more time and an easier execution, he got it wrong that time. He just didn't quite find the perfection that came with the goal-making pass. Just slightly behind Marco, who couldn't deal with it, used his hand. But Rojas is through with a better ball there. We've certainly seen that he's capable.
One of the quirks of the game. The attacker does that, game stops. The defender does that in his own box. Play on. It's been helter-skelter at times. Opportunities for both sides going forward. It's the lone goal so far. Silvera v Donachie becoming an interesting matchup now. Sammy's fired up. wins it back for his team. Glides around Burkhan Kurta. Ziggy Gordon can give it back to Silvera on the stretch. Great control from Sammy. Goes back to Jurich. Matt Simon on the move again. Donaghy's clearance straight to Stensness, who hit one from there in under-20 World Cup to score a spectacular goal. And away by Donaghy again. He's such a rock at the back for the victory. Nisbet able to face forward. Tommy Orr to the width provided by Clisby. Matt Simon again, and the header will go just wide. Great link up. The delivery from Clisby has been a highlight so far.
A really good football. And Storm Roos having a devil of a time stopping the supply from the left here at the Mariners. Great run across the defender from Matty Simon. Really, it's textbook stuff. And the glancing header, quite get the contact that he was after. Looked possible for a while as he glanced that ball to the far post. Actor not troubled. Good passages of play from the Mariners.
Gordon finds the feet of Nisbet. Wouldn't quite sit for him though. Control was tough. Laurie Latanzio again, quick feet out in front of Cam Sober, who's got options now, including Laurie Latanzio. Goes for Rojas and missed him. Well, it should really have been 2-0 to the victory on that move.
And apart from everything else, I wouldn't mind getting a speed gun on Laurie Latanzio. Look at him go. Or maybe it's just the pink boots. And Elvis, I don't know, Elvis, if ever you're going to score, mate, roll it to the far post. Back yourself. Really doubting himself. His lead-up play has been so exciting for so long, Elvis, but the longer this goal scoring doesn't happen for him. And then, of course, when his brother Pacific rubs salt into that wound, just grows even more. It was a great attack.
Well, you sense Storm Roos was struggling physically perhaps to deal with that threat. He's been replaced. Basher into midfield, Broxham into the troublesome right back area. So Grant Bredner wasn't mucking around. He saw what you saw, Andy. And here's Broxham in that right back role. Here's Basher, the new man. Handy to bring on an Albanian international off your bench. And the versatility of Broxham on full display again. Kurta back to Cam Sober, and he was on the move. He ran into Stensness. Cam Sober thought there was something cynical going on from Gianni Stensness. He's blocking him off on his intended run. There's a Melbourne victory home game. See their emblem laid out on the hill here at Cogra tonight. And they're thinking of all their fans cheering on, watching on back home in lockdown in Victoria. Good luck to everyone getting through that tough period for everyone in the state of Victoria.
Yes, indeed, Speedy. The nation is behind Victoria, and I'm sure there's a lot of people thinking there, but by the grace of God, go we. As communities knuckling down to try and deal with this, and it's the full force of it is going through the state of Victoria at the moment, and we need them all to realise that not alone. Hopefully they don't feel alone. Very difficult period.
And this guy putting a smile on Dials. Held back by Silvera. Here comes the caution. First man into the book is the teenager Sammy Silvera for that.
Yeah, clear yellow card. Mariners, however, whilst not disputing this, have certainly expressing the belief in their minds that they're not getting the run of the green. Fair suck of the Sav.
The run of the green or the rub of the green?
Whatever you want, you're the golfer. Which is it?
I think it's the rub of the green, the cliche, but I don't mind the run of the green because you'd love to have it as a golfer. So don't mind the mixing of metaphors if that's what it was. And Basher on Simon. Simon didn't like it one little bit. Stopped play of his own accord, really, to square up with Midge and Basher. And they say, how about a caution for that one? And he's thinking about it, the young referee.
Pretty late. The ref might have done more, but what I liked about the ref's management there, he might maybe should have given the yellow card to start with, but not having done so, he then has to make the point that, well, whilst you've stopped the game, Matt, you're not the ref. I'm the ref. And he didn't buckle to the pressure.
Sober played it well enough in the end out of Ziggy Gordon for a goal kick.
But it's a bit rich of Basher to look at Matt Simon and say, what's your problem? You know, just giving him a clip on the kneecap.
Just got some wily customers to keep an eye on tonight. There's a bit more happening than maybe an NPL game tonight. Off the ball, there's a lot going on, and it's where you need that group of officials to help you out. Fourth official, the two assistants. Keep an eye on as much as you can.
Well, let's say Alex Smith. All right. Alex King is doing his bit on the sideline. He's workshopping the situation with Alan Stajic.
Barnett had a chance to maybe release Rojas immediately. Kurda to Basher, forward. That's worked the angle. Elvis Kamsoba trying to cut back inside. Barnett helping out Calafuoco, but he'd committed the foul already. Let's take it quickly and looking to find that equaliser before the break. Simon backing in on Calafuoco. Ball struck his hand. Long off-season ahead of the Central Coast Mariners. It all starts for them tonight. So they don't want to be dwelling on a loss for too long. They want to try and turn this game around. Finish on a happy note. Season 2019-20 that's been going for so long. Rojas back to Broxham. Lovely touch into the space, and he kept on running. That's for a handball against Rolls.
Great work from the youngster, Laurie Latanzio. Great closing down. There was not a moment then after trying to release Broxham. There was not a moment when he just stood back and admired what might have been. Straight into winning the ball back for his team.
He's half a chance still, Matt Simon. As Calafuoco clocked off a little. Traore had it all sorted. Basher the speed of the game. Kurda keeping it alive. A very impressive half again, Burkhan Kurda, young man who went to the Under-17 World Cup last year in Brazil with the Joeys, as did Laurie Latanzio. So a couple of those youngsters breaking into the A-League stage now.
And you know, there's speed out enough. It's just the default position for some of the commentariat. But I bumped into Gary Van Egmond at the Broadmeadow Magic game on the weekend, and over a Chavapi or two. he was telling me how many young players he sees coming through the place of real talent, which I'm prepared to. He's paid to go and find these kids and blend them into the under-20s national teams, etc. Prepared to take his view. Not all doom and gloom. There are a lot of kids coming through, and the more opportunities they get, certainly like this, the better they're going to be for it. That discussion was, as a highlight, only beaten by the quality of the Magic Chavapis.
Nisbet opens up the game, fires it out to Gordon. Deflection, and Nisbet almost tracked down the return ball. Oh, they've run into one another, Kerdar and Barnett, so Donachie takes the no-nonsense approach. Alex King reveals that 2 minutes will be added on. We had that very early stoppage to check on the welfare of Juric and Traore, which went for about 2 minutes, and that's what we get. So even though it happened a long time ago, they've got good memories. The Forthy and the referee. Misplaced pass. Counter-attack is on again. They've looked sharp in these situations, haven't they? The victory. Kerdar to Rojas again. Look at the blue shirts. Navy blue shirts in the area. Chance. And Birighitti grateful there was no touch off a sliding Adama Traore. Now the Mariners go the other way. Game opening up in injury time. Tommy Orr has struck a hand, poked home across the face of goal, off the post, and not in for Sam Silvera. The referee had a great view of the handball. He turns down the penalty request.
Well, it looked to me like a clear handball. And was hoping that the controversy would be annulled by that ball rolling over the line for a Mariners goal.
Clisby. Lovely touch. Off balance was Kamsoba. He'll find Rojas as well. Both teams having a good crack in these last few minutes. Try and find another goal before the break. Kerdar. Lost out to Nisbet. Juric right through the middle. Tommy Orr could have shaped one around. Turned down Milan Juric there and lost out in the end. And there's one last chance for the victory. Half-time whistle about to sound. Elvis Kamsoba says to Barnett, why don't you keep on going? He was a little late on the uptake, and that will do us. More exciting action. Things not going the Mariners' way. Alan Stajic a little frustrated right now, but it certainly went Marco Rojas's way when he pounced on an error from the Mariners defensively. Mark Birighitti in no man's land, and that's why we have that goal and the scoreline of the Melbourne victory 1, Central Coast Mariners 0. Stay with us. Tara Rushton and Andy Harper will take a look back at all of those first half highlights right after this.
Yo, yo, yo. Hey, man.
Western Sydney.
Hello, mate.
Hang on, mate. Hang on, mate.
You want ears?
We're chatting the goal first.
Yes.
Goal first, and then Mariners. Sorry. Yep, showing the handball.
Yeah, front is good. Check the focus. Good. Yeah.
So, yep, but that'll be in the Mariners' chances, and that's in that big package, which will be, which is going to include Matty Acton's saves, right? Goal into Mariners' chances, that'll also be brought up. I'll ask you if it's a handball or not. I think, did you and Speedy agree to disagree? Haven't got there? And then a little it was just VAR-able, and then a Burke and Curter package. So 1, 2, 3, goal, Marinators, Burks, Burke and Stark. Yeah, I'm always cold. I've got a heat pack. I've got the double thermals. Yeah. I've got my ski gear on actually. Yeah, I do. The thermals are under the pants. Oh, Rojas has been high. They're going. What is it? It's been another cracking night of football live on Fox Sports from Cogra. Melbourne Victory and the Central Coast Mariners 1-0 as both sides head into the sheds, but there could have been a bucket load more of goals because we've got to say the Mariners well and truly went for the equaliser in the first half. Welcome back, Tara Rushton. It's great to have your company and to be joined by Andy Harper. We know Marco Rojas got the opening goal for Melbourne Victory, but the Central Coast Mariners, they staged the fight back.
Well, they've had some good moments. Victory have had some really exciting, encouraging transitions. In the end, it gets down to a tale of two goalkeepers. Mark Birighitti inexplicably missing in action for the Victory goal, as good as the lead-up was, and Matt Acton brilliant when Matt Simon thought he was through on that volley. And that's what separates the teams. Both have had good moments, been a good first half when you consider it's 9v10 with no hope of finals. And I think both teams have acquitted themselves well, and it's been very good to watch.
Yeah, great contest, especially watching on here from the sideline. Looking at Melbourne Victory's opener, though, what a ball it was from Burke and Curter to find Marco Rojas. I know you spoke about Mark Birigitti's mistake here, but gorgeous ball as well. Yeah,
well, I mean, first things first, it should have been a free kick, the way I see it, to the Mariners for that foul on Sammy Silvera, but that's not to stop Burke and Curter, who picks the ball up in that transition phase. And, you know, this is a young guy making his way as a senior professional. To have the presence of mind, the swagger to balance yourself and ping that over that distance, knowing that you've got to hit it perfectly to do the work for Marco Rojas, who then obliged care of the assistance from Mark Birighitti in the Mariners goal. But it's great play from the youngster, and it was a really good goal in the end, apart from the mistake.
You know who was sniffing around for that equaliser? Who else but Matty Simon?
Yes, indeed, indeed.
The one and the only. He had a running battle with Matt in goal.
Yeah, it is. It was a marathon there. This is a couple of incidences down the left-hand side. Jack Clisby doing a good job, and Storm Rue having to make way because he couldn't stem the flow of the delivery. And this is the ball. These sorts of balls, it was another good bit of work. We'd forgotten that one from Matt Acton, and the question was whether Matty Simon should have left that for Ziggy Gordon. The free kick was a belter, although straight at Matt Acton. He still had to hold his ground, and this is the volley. Look at the run from Matt Simon now, peeling off between those two defenders. He's really difficult at that full stretch and full pace to do much else with that volley. You just want to make good contact in that situation, which he does. And the goalkeeping of Acton was excellent. And then running across James Donachie was Matt Simon again. You know, the guy, I'm not sure quite how much more football he's got left in these legs. But just fantastic, the target that he's providing. And I suspect that's VAR-able. And I suspect, given the climate of things, thanks, Speedy, and I suspect that's probably a penalty, the way things are going. Look, I'm in defensively, Broxham. The arm to swing like that is a natural action with as a balancing thing once your legs swung through, the follow through there. It's a biomechanical thing. But I don't know, the way things were going with VAR, I expect that they would have intervened and said that was probably a penalty. So Alan Stajic doesn't need being told this. He doesn't really want to go through this every week, but he does feel like a coach more sinned against than sinning, I'm sure.
Yeah, disappointing moment because that was right on the cusp of the halftime whistle as well. Melbourne Victory have spoken about their youngsters in the pre-game harps, but the 18-year-olds combining together, Laurie Latanzio and Burke and Kurta. What have you made of his first half?
Yeah, the youngsters have been flying. I mean, Laurie Latanzio, the speed and the touch and the willingness to attack, excellent. Elvis Campsober's looked tremendous as well without the goal. This is the ball from Kurta, putting those defenders, well, the goalkeeper, defender and Kai Rolls in that corridor of uncertainty. It's a beautiful ball from the youngster for the goal. He had an easier pass to make for another goal-scoring opportunity there, which he didn't quite execute. He underhit the pass, and that was a shame because that was a great chance. But by and large, you know, the youngsters from both teams, Silvera's been good for the Mariners. Nisbet's been really good again. You know, he gives almost everything away in a physical sense. But, you know, Josh Nisbet just keeps on keeping on. And then the two or three we've mentioned for the victory as well, certainly worth the watch tonight.
The question is, though, Harps, can Melbourne Victory hold on from where they are? We saw the change. Lee Broxham came on, went to right back. Stormy Roo went up the tunnel. A little bit of calf tightness. Perhaps he has played every game since the resumption of their season. But just looking at who they've got up front as well, there's a lot of inexperience there. Yeah,
and the game is going to continue to get open the more it goes on. And Victory have looked pretty keen to pounce on those opportunities. They haven't maximised them in that first half, but there's no reason to think they won't in the second. And for the Mariners' viewpoint, they've got to keep plugging away and keep playing this expansive game that they want. They've had a couple of great opportunities through the centre of midfield when there's been they've had numbers against a stretched defence and they've just mishit or mistimed the pass. So if they can correct that, they'll be putting the Victory under pressure, and then Victory will be springing out of those changes in possession with the fleet of foot Laurie Latanzio and Burkan Kurta feeding the ball, and Marco Rojas, let's face it, is no slouch either. So I'm expecting a really open second half. I'll stick with my pre-game tip that Victory will get home with the points. Not that it matters at this point, because we'll just enjoy watching them play.
Exactly right. We spoke about Matty Simon as well. He said he's not hanging up the boots next season. He'll be a player/mentor, but it's great to see there is the players that are majority that are staying with the Mariners are the young players that are here. A host is saying goodbye and I'll be saying farewell to the club when the full-time whistle blows. So they'll want to go out on a high. They've got a fair bit to play for. Another big 45 for them, Harps.
Indeed, and enjoy it. You know, sometimes you can get a bit bogged down in the grind of training and schedules and your institutionalised life as a footballer, because that's what professional sports people have to deal with, the institutionalisation of their life. But what you've got to do is get to the essence of why you're doing it, and there's 45 minutes for the Mariners to get right into the soul of why they're footballers and enjoy running around after the ball and passing it to your mates, dribbling, shooting and scoring.
I cannot wait to see what the second half dishes up. I'll let you get back to the commentary box and get warm, Harps. We are off to a short break here on your Monday Night of Football live on Fox Sports. A huge second half coming up between Melbourne Victory and the Central Coast Mariners. We'll see you soon, and we'll also hear from Grant Brevno, Victory coach.
Hello, Brebs. Testing.
Hello, my son.
All right, my son.
How are we up there?
All right, all right.
Yeah.
I just listened to the halftime show from the balcony suite.
I saw you. What'd you learn, mate? The balcony suite?
Just a really comfortable dynamic between Tara and Harps.
Of course.
Very watchable telly.
Nothing like a bit of stair work to get the blood going. I noticed you only went halfway, Speedy.
And I'm still puffing.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're good? Happy, everybody?
Can you hear this, Ken? IFP?
There's the scorer of the only goal so far, Marco Rojas, 28 years of age now, the New Zealander. And he's given Grant Brebner's side the lead. And the Melbourne Victory coach joins us now. What do you make of that first half?
Yeah, look, pleasing that we've got the 1-0 lead, but we've got a lot of work to do. One thing for sure is we're not going to sit back and defend this lead. We're going to keep trying to get at them and play the only way we know how, really, getting forward and attacking.
Did Storm Roux put his hand up? Why did that change occur?
He did, yeah. He was. He's obviously feeling a little bit in his calf, so precautionary. We've got enough subs, so getting him off was the best option.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Good luck second half. As the Mariners try and get right on the front foot. They struck the post, of course, late in stoppage time in that first half. They were that close to an equaliser across the face of goal. We've seen that a bit already since the resumption of the A-League.
Look, they've been good value, the Mariners. Value at least for a goal, and in a lot of ways, Speedy, it's lucky. I mean, you'd love something to be riding on this game. That's the first point, but geez, there'd be some controversy with a couple of the moments in that first half, wouldn't there?
And there would have been something riding on a game between these two clubs, of course, if not for the way the world has unfolded in 2020. But it would have been 10 v 11 for a spot in the FFA Cup final, maybe in July, so a couple of weeks ago.
Good pickup.
heading into the FFA Cup, but that's all gone by the wayside.
Good pickup, Brenton.
And here's Laurie Latanzio's chopped off by Burkham Kurda, given back to Stensness though. He gets Clisby rolling. His delivery from wide areas a feature in that first half. And Simon v Galafuoko, another tussle between those two. Simon left on the deck, and a show of physicality from his former teammate. This time Silvera gets the whistle. Good angle for this man to whip it in. Clisby's there as a left-footed option. Simon and Stensness the targets. Kai Rolls is there as well. And deep is Fox. Big chance here through the legs and over for the equaliser. The Mariners do hit back early in the second half. And in game number 50, it's Dylan Fox with the goal. Well, how did he squeeze that one home? Absolute delights. And it's taken him 50 games to score his first A-League goal.
Well, it's a looping free kick, and he's just too strong. And Dylan Fox, I'm going to say on balance, deserves this over the last few performances. Indeed, since he's been trying to crack it as a regular A-League player, he's always honest. He always commits to the team. And he deserves that goal. And the Mortys are back. 1-1.
Is he a former junior tunnel ball champion? He's put it through the legs of two opponents to score his first goal. A double nutmeg from Dylan Fox.
Well, it's at least what they deserve. And it does set things up now. It wasn't terribly stoic defending there from the Victory. The free kick didn't look overly dangerous. It was really looped in from Juric.
Maybe they all thought Simon was the target. Once it got past him, they thought they might relax a little, the Victory defensively. Fox was still there. And I'm not sure I've ever seen that in any football game anywhere around the world, that a ball has gone between so neatly two sets of legs, goalkeeper and defender. The A-League delivers plenty.
Sets a new standard.
Yes.
Well, I'm thrilled for him, really. He's just such an honest player. Has a real go for his team, fighting for his place every time he plays, and he deserves that goal.
Stensness shielding it nicely, threads the needle. Juric tried to cushion it out to Ziggy Gordon. Just had the radar a little off. Gordon scrapped it away. Back to the man of the moment. Silvera chasing this. Donachie across. Had to get it out for the throw, and in the end, safety first in the veteran centre half. Two from Jurich didn't come off. Just got away from Laurie Latanzio, and Fox took him ball and all.
Left a bit in there too by the looks of things to me. Fox, that was come here at your peril next time.
You're on a centre half if you don't accept those opportunities to take a bit of man. Simon directing traffic, wants it played in behind, and not on the same page. Jurich, I'll tell you what, that is an exquisite pass that looks even better, of course, when a teammate's on your wavelength.
Indeed. He's been in good nick tonight, Matt Simon. Jurich didn't read it. Elvis was away, but Ziegman pulls him down.
Look at that, Jurich is on the back foot going away from goal. Simon just teed him up if he was running onto it towards goal. Roxham plays for the free kick, and he'll prompt a booking as well. Repeat offender Tommy Orr, and he says that's my first, ref, if you check the stats. Has he got him confused with someone else?
There were one or two victory breakaways when Tommy had a nibble at a couple of the breakaway players and got away with it. Maybe he was just storing them away. Well, here's your groundbreaking goal, Speedy. Tunnel ball. Primary school ball games used to play him captain ball and tunnel ball. That's what you're referring to. Doesn't matter to Dylan Fox. He's got his goal. Well done.
You reckon that's now obsolete, the old tunnel ball? Or is it I think I saw it getting a run the other day, actually.
They barely play sport in schools nowadays, Speedy. It was certainly a staple part of your primary education. I'm not quite sure if it was the key to the breeding ground of Olympic champions, but there you go. The old tunnel ball, lessons for life. Never quite got that one.
Simon again, flicking it on. Left behind by Traore. Poked away by Silvera, it was. Who'll get it now from Tommy Orr. And a deflection. Again, Donachie straight out of there with the first touch.
He had to give it the quick step, didn't he, Donks? That little deflection just put him off a little bit.
Look how deep the victory are here. Setting up that 4-1-4-1 shape again. Concertina style. Actually pushing out. Kurda trying to get to Fox. Oh, he's got Jurich to worry about. Lovely pass, but Gordon couldn't keep the move going. Kurda. Rojas was further afield, making a long bursting run. So much space in behind that attackers' eyes are lighting up tonight. Roxham into that right back role when Storm Rue said, "My calf is playing up, coach. You're going to take me off." Kurda again, beautiful balance on the ball. Rojas told to turn. Lovely move around Clisby like he wasn't there. And now checking back inside. Clisby held him up just long enough to frustrate Rojas into the foul on Nisbet. Brebner plotting another change or two. There was some advice behind his shoulder you may have just noticed there for that man. Young Lawton. Kurda again. Great choice of pass to Rojas. Laurie Latanzio in the middle. Unable to get on the end of things. did score in the National Youth League Grand Final at this venue. Laurie Latanzio against Sydney FC. Oh, kept his feet through it all, but he thought he was still fouled. A couple of opponents were having a scythe at him. Both teams allowed to make 5 subs tonight. Victory have already used one window to make one change, of course. Free kick taken quickly. The referee is saying you can have another go, and the Mariners are saying, come on, they've burnt that one. Damascus maintains his composure and said they took it from the wrong spot. Come back here and take it where I've put the magic spray out. Very giddy side back in the game, courtesy of Fox's equaliser. Rojas teases it in, free header, and should have done a whole lot better than that. Calafuoco with a glorious chance.
Beautiful little ball this from Marco Rojas. And geez, that's got to be 2-0. He's very strong in the air. Well, certainly defensively, Calafuoco, but that technique. I think technique abandoned him.
Could have been 2-1, of course. Silvera is off.
Indeed, 2-1, you're right.
Ruiz Diaz is on. So that's the end of the season for Sammy Silvera. Doesn't look too happy about it. You surprised by that change?
Well, I am. Not necessarily that Sammy's come off, I mean, you know, whatever, but Tommy Orr's making way in the Mariners. He's going to another club. This is game time for another kid. That's the way I view it. Now, we're not privy to what's going on and who's fit, who's ready, how Stajic, the Mariners coach, is wanting to use Tommy Orr from this point on, but in absolute terms, this is game time as a Mariner that he doesn't really need anymore.
Acton taking a risk, tempting Ruiz Diaz into it. Now Juric into the area he goes. He was fouled earlier on, about 3 metres outside the box.
There's a little bit of an escape for Matt Acton. He's otherwise been excellent. There's the foul by Burkhan Kurta, and thankfully the referee has brought it back for knocking Juric off balance.
So that's a free kick, is it?
Outside the box it is, Speedy.
Okay, so inside the box, that's okay. I'm just asking for an expert clarification.
Well, it's the convention. The game is a very conservative one. Worldwide, Speedy. Very conservative.
When it comes to spot kicks, quite remarkable. So is it Juric or is it Clisby? The lefty takes it on, and it wouldn't come down in time, but had the angle right. It was right over that top corner.
That promised, didn't it? Off the boot. It had us thinking just maybe.
Cam Sober has to give up the chase now. Long straight pass from Midjan Basher. Tough to execute. Brad Brebner plotting a double change to freshen up things in midfield. Stensness. Or recycles it via rolls, and Clisby back in position after that set piece. Gordon. Lovely control from Ruiz Diaz, who was a starter last time, coming off the bench tonight. Mariners shading possession. Good little stanza here. Ruiz Diaz backtracks, but Broxham reading it well in flight. Rojas, only Fox ahead of him. Teammates on the move. Marco Rojas tried the little no-looker, coming together inside the area. Now Broxham. Barnett. The Mariners getting their block set up. Curda. Just got away from him that time. Well played by Nisbet again, opening up the pitch for Juric. Matt Simon kept on running. Califuoco tracking the run. Good shoulder-to-shoulder stuff. In the end, he put a leg across, and the assistant helped give that decision. Free kick taken quickly by Simon. What can Clisby dish up this time? Tommy Orr unable to get on the end of things. Juric on the half volley. Again, a test of his technique.
Yeah, well, never looked likely at all, that one. It's a bit of a hopeful one from Adama Traore.
So a double change made by Grant Brebner. Hope and Lawton replacing Curda and Cam Sober. Another exciting contribution from Burkhan Curda.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Takes up that position. Frank Harrock used to call it with the greatest of respect. And Mickey Peterson was always the focus of the team talks, that great midfielder from South Melbourne. Watch Peterson, he'll cheat. Which was a complimentary description. Peterson in those great South Melbourne teams, a member of which was Paul Trimboli, the football manager here at Victory, down on the sideline. Peterson would just sit in that space, get the ball bouncing out of the defenders and just play with him. Terrible to play against, but great to watch, I'm sure. Curdar's doing a similar sort of thing, not in the Mickey P category yet, and a slightly different style of player as well, but still got a lot of potential.
Mickey P listens to each and every word of A-League commentary. He's got a big smile on his face right now. A moment ago, it was a scowl. I'm a cheat, says Andy Harper.
He'll know exactly what we're talking about. He would have heard Frank Harrock use the term himself. He was one of the best at it, a beautiful player.
Last touch off Basher as he tried the elaborate trick. Pass accuracy, a lot of those forward, just shy of the 90% mark. And the pass that led to the goal for the Victory. Califuoco can stroll across and let it go out for the throw-in. Set up for a frenetic final half hour here. Both teams won't be settling for a point. Victory keen to end that four-game losing streak in style. The Mariners looking to finish their season with a bang. Last time they met, there were 2 spot kicks for the Mariners to turn things around in an elongated stoppage time period. 94th minute equaliser for 2-2. Matt Simon from the spot. 100th minute winner. 90 plus 10 for 3-2. Getting there. Fox again, nearly the double. Well, he was in a show of strength against a couple of defenders and he won that battle, Dylan Fox.
Look at this save, Speedy. This is behind Acton. Brilliant from Fox. What a save. Acton from point blank twice now. That's remarkable. Really remarkable. Dylan Fox. Well, it's nearly raining goals for the big fella.
And now he's in trouble. Rojas is in behind him. Marco Rojas opens up the angle and the victory. Take the lead again. That's what we've grown used to from Kiwi Messi down the years. Turning defenders inside out, and then the poise to pick out the bottom corner. So what a turn of events. Acton keeps them level at one end. Rojas puts them in front at the other.
Well, it's a continuation of a theme from the first half in some senses, and as Dylan Fox was denied his brace, he can't foot it with Messi. Sorry, Rojas. He skips inside brilliantly, so light on his feet. It's not much of an effort, really, from Kai Rolls. He's beaten easier than he should have been, but even that is to take something away from Rojas, which we shouldn't. He's so fast across the ground, the control's so close, and the finish unerring.
And Grant Brebner had as good a view as anyone. His 7th A-League brace. He scored some special ones. Think back to a day out at Amy Park against Newcastle for Marco Rojas. Such a joy to watch. And each and every time we cut to a close-up of Marco Rojas, he's got this smile on his face going, I'm enjoying it.
Loves it. People get a lot of enjoyment watching him. But Matt Acton, 2 great saves here tonight. One off Matt Simon and that one off Dylan Fox. Kept his team in it. And immediately upfield springs Marco Rojas to make it 2-1.
His last brace also came against the Mariners. That was in 2016. He's never scored an A-League hat-trick. He might just fancy it today. There have been 2 hat-tricks in this fixture. Scored by Bessart Berisha in 2018 and Michael McGlinchey for the Mariners under Arnie in 2013. No Michael McGlinchey here tonight. No Danny De Silva here tonight either. Not amongst the substitutes, so not at the venue, which is a little surprising. Still a quarter of the game to go. Dylan Fox so close to making it 2-1 Central Coast. Matt Acton saw to that. And in a flash. With Dylan Fox, his heart rate probably still up. He had to let Rojas go.
Burned all his juice. He couldn't put it with him. I mean, Kai Rolls needed to do better, really. It was a bit soft. Marco Rojas made him look like he wasn't even there. It's great work from Dylan Fox, and bettered by the work of the goalkeeper. And he's beaten there, and he's just overcommitted. I mean, that's too easy to get past, really. But brilliant from Rojas. Brilliant from that guy.
Here's Laurie Latanzio. Rojas talking him through it. And the sliding challenge came off from Ziggy Gordon. That's neatly done. On the feet of Juric, who switches things up. Super technique. Spray a pass across the pitch like that. Not many have that in their locker. So a pretty handy first season down under Milan Juric.
Yeah, he hasn't played as much as some people think he might have, but I'm sure that gets down to an issue of managing his body. I'm not quite sure how much run he's got left. I'm certain, having watched what he's delivered, that Alan Stadjic would like to have played him more, but there's this nervousness that his body mightn't be able to cope with the rigours. It's certainly worth his place in the team in a technical sense. Does some wonderful things.
Or knows Clisby is going to be bombing on. First time delivery again. No one in that hole. I mean, Clisby is dishing up service, silver service, with better runs in the middle. Simon's dragging defenders out of position as well, but there's no one making that run from midfield. That time Ruiz Diaz was in the vicinity. Acton forced the scramble to prevent a sloppy corner. Jurich again flighting it this time. Out to Clisby. Referee had to take evasive action. Knew where Orr wanted to pass it. And lifted to Jurich, who's popping up everywhere right now. And tried to surprise Acton by punching it in that top corner.
That was a terrific little ball over the top by Nisbet. It's played really well again tonight. It's a good run from Jurich too, but it was had to be found by the uncanny bit of work from Nisbet. Really clever.
Some news on Michael McGlinchey that he's flying back to Scotland on Thursday. So we wish him well if he's getting back there for family reasons or football reasons. SPL just kicked off again this weekend. Of course, he played for Celtic in that competition a long time ago now. Celtic big winners last night with Tom Rogic on the bench. Here's Ruiz Diaz. Basher's header straight to Rolls. Can the Mariners find something? Already pegged the victory back once tonight through this man. Now winless in their past 13 games, 11 defeats, then the couple of draws we've seen lately. A caution for Jay Barnett. He's going to see a few of those throughout his career. He's a rugged kind of midfielder. Happy to stick a boot in at times.
And very late. Pretty cynical. No harm done otherwise.
Gordon somehow finds Jurich. Terrific ball in, but he's crowded out of it by Barnett. Hope to Basher.
Well, Simon had a bit of a look at Basher there.
Normally he'll get the square up somewhere in the 90. Watch this space for Matt Simon v Basher. Well played by Rolls. So on the goal, you wanted Rolls to react better to Fox being in distress?
That, but also not overcommit. He just overran, opened up the channel for Rojas to skip inside. He can shepherd him down to the near post where Birigidi will be patrolling as well. It's a more difficult angle.
Gordon flights it, and it should be Acton's commanding his penalty area. We talked about the Victory's recruitment heading into next season. If you were the Victory coach, you're in charge. Are you having Matt Acton as your #1 for next season and just finding a #2? Or are you looking for another first choice top liner goalkeeper?
Well, it depends on what the #2's like at the moment, and I have no intelligence on that. But Matt Acton would do me on this evidence. He's been terrific.
Jurich, lovely ball again. Tommy Orr, and he ran the wrong way, didn't he, Ruiz Diaz?
Well, the trajectory of his run was wrong to start with, but then there was no bust-your-gut urgency to get across the defender. That's the opportunity you've got. The ball's dropped, it's sitting there like a peach waiting to be plucked off a tree. You've got to go and take the peach.
Now Clisby, out comes Acton, misjudged it, and grateful to see it go wide as he timed it out in the end.
Well, I'm glad you asked me the question about Matt Acton's tenure before that, because that'd make you nervous if you're a prospective coach. He misread that one, and actually the quick reaction in the end knocked it away to safety. No one's perfect. He's been pretty close too so far tonight. And that was nearly a howler.
Jurich shapes one in again. Acton comes, punches emphatically that time. Mariners in search of number 2. Jurich again. Keeps the keeper out of it that time. Rojas, brilliant touch. Kept it away from Stensness, then the explosion speed-wise. Laurie Latanzio pointing in behind. Cross comes Ziggy Gordon and commits the foul.
Well, he wins the foul, but that's running off the ball that needs educating from Laurie Latanzio. He needed to pull right out of that at the start and open up on the left-hand side, but he's cluttered things. Wins the free kick, in fairness to him, in the end. And there's a little bit of correction, in my opinion, that could be provided to this young excitement machine.
Rojas goes short. Laurie Latanzio now stands it up. Donachie v Simon. Interesting battle. And a needless challenge from Josh Hope gives the Mariners the free kick. Stensness fouled by Basher. Well won by Galafuoco. And Rojas will be flagged for offside here. Gives us the chance to go back and have a look at that moment for Ruiz Diaz. Not heading home. We'll get to it in a moment because the Mariners keep the ball in play. Keep the tempo high. And they get a corner. Waiting for Rolls to arrive in the area. Both centre halves are up. Fox already a goal scorer. Nearly a brace for him. He's the target again. Got his head on it once more. Galafuoco heads it clear. And kept it going. Laurie Latanzio will be able to keep this one in and use his speed perhaps. Nisbet tracking back in time.
Great play again, Nisbet. Terrific coverage, good reading of the game.
Here we go. Harps, take it away.
Well, this is a beautiful pass from Jurich. Dropped to the back post by Tommy Orr. Just the lack of desperation there worries me with any player. These are moments that... How many goals on average are scored in a game of football, Speedy? Not many.
No, probably 2. Doing a bit.
These are rare chances for one just sitting there. Everything you've got has to be to get to that ball. Even if you don't get there, you've got to make it look like you're desperate as hell to get there. There's a youngster cutting his teeth. He's been very impressive. But I'm playing that a few times to him and saying, if this shows your hunger levels, you've got a bit of work to do.
And the way to get on the end of it is to head that ball.
Sure, run through it. You've got to attack that ball. You've got to make contact. You've got to make your presence felt. You've got to be desperate.
Surely every Aussie kid has been growing up watching highlight reels of Tim Cahill. No better example to try and
Well, that's
replicate what Timmy does.
That's a very good point. That's the gold standard.
If you can find the grainy old VHS versions that have now been digitised of Andy Harper, that would be another good way to look at it.
Super 8s, mate. Reel to reel. It's like those old black and white things in the cinema. Silent movies.
Yellow card out for Matt Simon. For this, oh no, that's an later challenge from Luis Diaz v Donachie, but the caution is for what went down in the centre circle. It's like Barnett didn't appreciate the treatment one little bit. Oof.
You'd ask a question on the run too. We're at you on the receiving end.
Inside the final 10 minutes, the victory look like they're going to avoid that unwanted club record of 5 defeats in a row in the driver's seat here. They thought that was the case against the Mariners when they went past the 90-minute mark last time they squared off in January. Nice play down that right-hand side. Hope can go into the area. Cut back. Rojas just couldn't get an angle on it. Traore. And a desperation block from Stensness.
Good stretch. Beautiful work down the right-hand side. Josh Hope, super stuff. Found nicely by Lawton. Can he pick up a pass? And the victory players again, there are 3 of them pretty much running to the near post. They needed to split those responsibilities a little better.
Rojas has called Lawton over. They've got the 2-on-1. Played it well enough for Rojas to deliver. Away by Gordon. Traore asking for more movement. Was Galafuoco still staying forward, the intended target? So Basher slots in for Galafuoco before he can get back into position. Mariners ready to make another change, as you can see. Here's Tommy Orr on the stretch, and Basher in that position, covering for Galafuoco, was across in time. So Jair is on. And Matt Simon is off. I think he'll be a player coach next season, Matt Simon. Mariners fans will still get the chance to cheer him on occasionally, maybe a few less minutes than we've seen this season. Stensness. It back from Ziggy Gordon. Misplaced pass. Kiwi under-20 international. Such a warrior, Matt Simon, throughout his A-League career. Lovely control from Rojas with pressure breathing down his neck. Will he get the chance for a hat-trick? Tanzio the target. Brought down by Stensness for Gordon. And now Jurich. Teammates making their moves, including Jair. Acton and Traore knew what was coming there. Ball from Jurich. He's ambitious, trying to get Ziggy Gordon in behind. Jurich demanding it, gets it in the centre circle. Such a proactive player. Every time he gets it, he's trying to make something happen. Gordon has no one to go to. Had to go backwards. Nisbet fires one back out. Brilliant pass in the circumstances. Jair The Galafuoko defended it well again. All that time with the Mariners at the start of the campaign has him well schooled for the challenges he's faced tonight. But here's Orr in behind. Ruiz Diaz keeps his feet and blasts home an equaliser. First A-League goal for Dylan Ruiz Diaz. Such an exciting player. And when the chance was presented, he dispatched it emphatically.
Well, nice work. Beautiful ball into Tomiori. Takes up that position as an attacking midfielder. Threads the pass beautifully. So Dylan Fox into a beautiful turn. It's a great finish from the youngster. That's more like it. Quick feet to set himself and then fires the ball into the roof of the net. Beautiful work from Ruiz Diaz.
Of Uruguayan heritage, Dylan Ruiz Diaz, just 19 years of age. It's his 8th A-League appearance. Made his debut late last season against the Wanderers. A young Socceroo, under 20 level. And if you look at his highlight reel that he's got on his social media channels, that's no fluke. That's trademark, that finish. He's got plenty in his locker. Here's Kenny Athieu just on. What can Kenny dish up? Goes for goal. He had Josh Hope all alone, but never saw him, I don't think. Kenny hunting his second A-League goal. Dylan Ruiz Diaz says about himself, "I've always been a goal-scoring number 10. He's got the confidence, and it shone through on that occasion. Gotta love the way that he had his heels clipped as well. Didn't go down. He said, "Here's my chance to score."
Well, he showed great balance.
Here's a careless giveaway. Basher going the other way. Tries to tee up the triple L. Luis Lori Latanzio forced backwards by the Mariners. A scrambling Mariners, and we're set up for a humdinger of the last 10 minutes or so. 2-2. And this fixture has averaged 5 goals a game in the last 5 head-to-head meetings. Feel like we might get a 5th here as they both give it a crack. Basher timed his challenge nicely, and the referee might have been able to let that one go, and he won't let the free kick be taken by Lord.
Well, that's a great moment for Triple L, as you called him. Speedy, I thought you were talking about my short size. What a moment it would have been for him to skip through and score.
There was no X mentioned. Oh, lovely pass, Barnett. Lawton in the wide area. Hope gets a shout from Broxham. 3rd man run. We've seen that before. He goes down fishing for a penalty. Lee Broxham ran past the ball, initiated contact, and the young ref did well to sum all that up.
He did very well. Good call from the ref. Good run and play. Nice triangle from the Victory. Good passing and moving to prise open the Mariners' defence, who are coming back for a winner here late.
Oh, he's through again. Ruiz Diaz making a name for himself. Brilliance. He has a double. And the Mariners 3-2 up against the Melbourne Victory for the 2nd time in a row. They turned it around late with 2 quick-fire goals. Well, we were critical of him not hunting a header about 10 minutes ago, but he's shown what he can do with those feet of his.
Well, it's beautiful work. Djuric again feeding the ball. What a lovely pass from Milan Djuric. I almost prefer this goal, Speedy. He had less time to think and more time for things to go wrong on that sense, and he had to really gather himself and set himself and then place it beautifully, the youngster. Past Galafuoko, eyes the goal, sets himself and finishes beautifully.
We spoke to Alan Stajic pre-game about the starting debut of Ruiz Diaz the other day. He said he showed a lot, and he was going to come off the bench tonight, and he'd be improved by that run out the other night, and hasn't it shown? What a half hour from Dylan Ruiz Diaz. This is a kid who's dreaming big, and good on him for that. He's a Liverpool fan, and he dreams of playing for Liverpool or Barcelona one day. And his composure with those two finishes, outstanding. Broxham on the move again. Lawton squeezed it to Hope, who kept it alive for Matthew. Back to Basher. The Mariners defending with a back five. I thought the Victory were going to avoid an unwanted club record of 5 defeats in a row, but now that looms large as 4 minutes of stoppage time goes up on the board. Hope. Lawton keeps on rolling, and the challenge is made, one cleanly, and preventing the corner was Nisbet.
He is everywhere. Nisbet pops up incredibly when you need him. Covers the ground, reads the play, and then doubled up with Clisby there to save the corner, and now the Mariners have got the free kick. So impressive, Josh Nisbet.
Tommy Orr caught by Kenny Athieu, who's the latest into the book. Jack Clisby is down after his desperation defending a moment ago, so it gives us the chance to wax lyrical about Dylan Ruiz-Diaz.
Well, also about the old bloke who put the ball on for him. That was half decent. This is great finishing. Great finishing. 2 really good goals. Highly talented youngster. He's really caught the eye, the small bits we've seen at this level. And then he burst through tonight with those 2 wonderful goals. And if it's the last game in a Mariners shirt for Milan Djuric, well, he's put on a bit of a show tonight as well. He heads back overseas on Friday, I believe. And he's split the Victory defence on a few occasions tonight. Beautiful passing.
Stajic keen to give another youngster their A-League debut, provided there's another stoppage in the next couple of minutes. Victory, of course, desperate to snatch a point. Never in the proud history of their club have they been rolled 5 times in a row. Nisbet again keeps his feet through it all, but the referee says that's a foul by Hope.
Well, they've been bookmarked fixtures this season for Victory. The loss against the Mariners, which the last time they won was the end of the road for Marco Kurtz. And now they're on the precipice of that other unwanted record to which you've referred.
So Tommy Orr takes his final bow as a Mariners player. He'll be playing with MacArthur next season. And he's been part of a success here. But the youngster, the 19-year-old Lewis Curry, makes his A-League debut. He was signed by Manchester City as an 11-year-old. Then visa issues really held him back as he tried to make an impact in England. Moved to Blackburn, played for their under-18 side. Now back down under. Looking to make a mark in the A-League. He gets a couple of minutes and a win bonus coming up. First contribution is to handle that one. Matthew laying it off to Laurie Latanzia. Hope can open up the pitch. Broxham maintaining the width, will receive from Donaghy. Lawton has done some nice things since coming on. All the way back to Donaghy. Time against the Victory now. Need to almost think about lumping it forward, getting it in the mixer for Kenny Athieu to try and make something happen. The referee summing up the timekeeping right now. 4 minutes has ticked by. One last attack perhaps for the Victory. They maybe afford to be this patient. Back into their own half. Now they're getting some numbers committed forward. Basher cushions it away by the Mariners. Well, history repeats. 204 days since their last victory. The Mariners turn it around late against the Victory once more, and Dylan Ruiz-Diaz puts his name up in lights with a quick-fire double. The 85th minute equaliser and the 89th minute winner from the teenager. So exciting, the youngsters we're seeing breaking into first-team action in the return of this A-League season. And Dylan Ruiz-Diaz, the latest to take their chance with both hands. Full-time at Cogra, the Central Coast Mariners 3, the Melbourne Victory 2. They've lost 5 in a row for the first time in club history. That's a nice way to go out for the Mariners.
Well, I don't know if they've saved their best till last, but it's the 3 points that they'll savour. It's been a long, difficult time for them. Farewelling a number of players here, and the season finishes, as does their time in a Mariners shirt. But not quite sure how long they're planning on holding on to Dylan Ruiz-Diaz, but you'd hope for some time to come, because he is quite a player with some potential, and those 2 goals were excellent. And the Victory, whilst vanquished here this evening, the youngsters can leave with their heads up. They offered some really entertaining football. They played some very constructive stuff and showed in their own way a way forward for their football club, with all those other big questions still hanging, of course, principally who's going to be coaching and making the ultimate decisions. But a lot still to chew on for Victory fans of the youngsters coming through. The night was for the Mariners. Matt Simon farewells the season with another strong performance, but the hero of the hour was the kid, Dylan Ruiz-Diaz.
Winless in 13 games, but now a victory for the Mariners.